Still play it.
No, it's good.
Hey, good evening. This is Melissa Shaw with Our Generation, where we educate, empower, and inspire. And I am excited to be here with Damon Hicks. We're going to talk about his books and what he's doing in the community. And I want to give
Absolutely.
a shout out to Farm Free Life. This is where I'm at. If y'all have not tried their coffees or their teas or their butter or lifted or balanced, you need to come and try. Have you ever had their additives?
Nope, I had a smoothie. It was amazing.
Was it? Yeah, but you haven't had anything put in it yet.
Nope, nope,
Are you going to
nope,
ever?
nope. I don't think so. I don't
What?
think you talking about like the CBD stuff.
Yeah.
Nah.
No. Have you ever had anything like that?
That's why I want to.
Oh, okay. You probably need a half of a half.
But go ahead and try that, y'all.
Yes, please do. It's very. I'm actually going to get some before I leave because I was a little stressed today. I don't know why, but yeah. But so yeah. So we're here, and obviously Farm Free Life. We're off of 82nd in Allisonville, so make sure you check them out. And it's a dope ass vibe in here. Also, New Vibe CBD
Absolutely.
dispensary. They have the dab bar. If you haven't seen my episode when I tried the dab, that was funny. Yeah, it was raw. Like I literally.
I'm gonna have to check that one
Yeah,
out.
it was hilarious. Yeah, so definitely check them out. And then Black Girl Hug. If you checked out my website, make sure you check her out. Black Girl Hug. She does dope work, and she has accelerator course online. So definitely check her out. It's blackgirlhug.com. And so we are just gonna get into it. And hello, Damon.
Hello.
Welcome to my show. It's a long time coming.
I finally pulled up on a celebrity.
Oh yeah, okay. No, you the one that's celebrity. You got books out. Like, look, he already got his little display. Came in with some books
If you're ready,
and
you
a
gotta get
stand.
ready.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me.
absolutely. I love what you're doing. I always try to support. We've known each other for
A couple months.
yeah, not long. We met here. I met out with you, and then you came to my event, and yeah, and then I went to a couple of your events.
Appreciate it.
The one at P30 it was your biggest event, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was one of the biggest events.
I wasn't surprised because I could just saw how you moved, but I was very impressed at the turnout.
I really appreciate that. It means a lot, and thank you for coming to my events.
Yeah,
It means a lot when people really support and really come out in real life.
absolutely. Because people can say all the time, "Oh man, I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna be there." You
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"All right, where you at,
Yeah,
bro?
yeah,
Where you at?"
definitely be my thing. So I really appreciate that. It
Yeah,
means a
absolutely.
lot.
I just love to see what you're doing. So with the events, what made you get started? Like, are you from here? Just give us a little bit of background about you.
Okay. For the people that don't know, my name is Damon Hicks. I'm a young father, author, entrepreneur, author of Keys to Elevate, and author of The Mindset Shift, Powerful Collection of 100 Affirmations. And what was your question?
Just kind of a little bit about you.
Okay.
You from here?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. Born and raised. Started my entrepreneur journey about, I say, 3 years ago. And I started it based off a friend telling me they didn't want to hear my dreams and goals no more. They wanted to see me put it in action, which actually hurt my feelings. I stopped talking to them for 6 months because I was mad. I was like, oh, they hate it. But
Right.
honestly, they really gave me some sound advice. And for the people that is listening to this, listen to those people. Just take action on your dreams and goals. Don't just talk about them, because I was a professional. I was a professional procrastinator. I
Yeah.
used to talk about, and I get excited too, talk about my
I
dreams
know,
and
right?
goals.
Like we really doing something.
Yep, and then it
Yeah.
wasn't until I sat with myself and was like, you know what, I'm gonna take action on what I said I wanted to do. And so I started different little things that didn't work out, but then I started with my podcast and really started putting in the work behind it, which is called Over the Top Podcast.
Yes, make sure you check it out.
Yep, great podcast where I speak about all type of different things about mindset, life. I have guests coming on speaking about things that they overcame. Um, if you want to listen to that, it'd be great. But yeah, I started with that. But honestly, I think it started with me reading books as well, because your mindset is everything.
Yes.
And so me reading those books put me somewhere mentally and exposed a lot that people don't get exposed to, talking to everyday regular people, get to learning different things.
And can you tell the people? And I don't. How old are you?
Oh yeah, I'm 25. Yeah.
And I think that's so dope that you said for 3 years. So then you was what, 22
Yep.
when you started entrepreneurship?
Yep.
So
Yep. Just
what
starting
made you like? Have you always had kind of the mindset of you didn't want to work for other people? You kind of just did things on your own?
Yeah, I always had the mindset because my mother, shout out to my mother, she sold Avon. And so she had that entrepreneur spirit, which I enjoy this while watching and seeing.
Yeah.
And so then after that, I actually was on this candy van when I was like 15, and it kind of taught me about speaking with people, never judge a person, because a person you think that won't buy your candy will buy your whole box.
Isn't that
And a
something?
person that you think will buy your whole box won't even say
Well,
nothing to you.
right. No, you're right. You are so
And so
right.
learning people skills out there, learning how to speak to people. Because
Nice.
when I first went out there, I was scared to the person that was with me. He ended up selling some of my candy, and he was like, "I ain't selling no more. If you want to make some money, do it yourself."
Right.
And I had to learn to do it.
Yeah.
And then after that, the 3 years ago is when I started reading those books. And the first book I read was Law of Success by Napoleon Hill.
Yes.
And then I read what was the other one? I think it's Think and Grow Rich.
Yes, that's a good one.
And then I read Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yep.
And I want to say this: I love those books. I love those books. But there's a lot of great books out there, and most of them say a lot of the same thing, and a lot of people get hyped on them. And then also, I want to say this: if you're in a space of self development, don't get caught and don't stay there. Like
Mm-hmm.
again, I read probably over 40 plus self development and financial literacy books. All of them basically talk about the same thing. There's not one that the other one don't really talk about. All of them go over the same basis. So after you get the information, it's about putting the work in. I
That
had to say
part. No,
that.
absolutely. And I think I get caught up in that. Like, I feel like
Mhm.
I'm an information junkie.
Yeah.
Like, I love getting information and knowledge, but then it's like, okay, you have all this information. What are you really doing with it?
Gotta apply it.
You have to apply, even
Gotta
if
apply
it's
it.
small steps.
Mhm.
Applying, certain things each day is so important, because then all that time you
Absolutely.
spent reading all those books is worth nothing.
Nope, not if you're gonna not gonna apply it. You just
Yeah.
got information. And so
Yep.
yeah, after reading those books, that's when I started putting action in. And then also I remember what really took me to the next level as well as I was putting action, doing a whole lot of Instagram videos, and that's when I met brother Jamal. Shout out to my bro. You know I always shout you out in these interviews. He got his
I'd like to
own.
have him on too.
Oh yeah, he got his own children book. He the same age as me. He got his
Yeah.
own children book. He got his own novel. He got his own board game.
I was gonna say, yeah, he
He got
doesn't
his
have a
own
game.
gaming
Yeah.
app, and he's also a speaker. But I remember him telling me stuff. He was like, "Everything that you're doing is super dope, bro. Super dope. But you got to start going to these events and start networking with people." And then I remember having a conversation with my sister, and I was like, I'm about to start going to more events. Do you think I should go with someone, or you think I should go by myself? Should I go by yourself so you can be comfortable with just being by yourself going to these events, so you
Yep.
won't have to depend on someone always
Yep.
going with somebody? So that's when I started going to events and started meeting people and learning,
Yes.
and realizing like, dang, I didn't know like it's a lot of people that's like minded like me. And
I
so,
get nervous.
oh yeah, you got it.
I swear it's odd, but I get like real sorry, y'all. I get like, okay, make sure you get shut up.
Oh yeah,
No, you
definitely.
get it.
I don't blame you. That'd be the worst. But
Especially when you get into it and talking, you be like, "Are you kidding me? Did I lose that whole episode?"
oh yeah, that
Have you been there when stuff has happened on your
oh
podcast?
yeah, that didn't happen. I
You're
recorded
like,
the whole
cut take
episode.
number 55.
Yeah, I recorded the whole episode and it didn't do it, and I was heartbroken.
Yes, yes.
But
Because you can't get back. I always talk within the moment. Like,
yeah,
whatever energy that's going at that time, I
hmm
can't reenact that.
yeah, no,
It's
especially after
done.
saying a whole bunch of good stuff, you be like,
Right.
oh
It's like, I
man.
don't even remember what I tell people a lot of times when I'm in the moment. I don't remember what I said. Like, I can't go back and recreate it.
Yeah, definitely, that's me too.
Yep. So,
But
but yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
no, yeah. So yeah, after going to those events, surrounding myself in those environments is what really took me to a different level too, because I was able to build new connections and network.
Yes.
And it's funny because within going to those events really taught me how to network. I thought networking was going to the place, taking a picture with somebody and posting on social media. I literally did that. I still got the picture of the dude that I did it with.
Wow.
It's funny. But that's not what networking is.
No.
Networking is, speaking with somebody, telling them what you do, hearing what they do, and seeing how y'all can benefit from each other.
Yeah.
You know, and
Absolutely.
following up. A lot of people don't follow up. That's why
Man,
they don't make good
fortune is
connections.
in the follow up.
Oh man, a lot of
Big.
people don't do that.
They do not. And if you someone like, there's people out there that does what we do,
Hmm.
and so if you prime them, somebody else is gonna come in and take the sale because you didn't follow up.
You didn't
You
follow up.
have to follow up.
And also referring people. Like
Yes.
that's networking to me too. If something that I know ain't gonna work for me, I can send them. Or if somebody can help them, then I'm gonna send them over there to them. Like, hey, they doing this. You said you've been looking to get more exposure for your business. She do podcasts. Reach out to her. She's
Yeah.
real humble, real nice. Like,
Yeah. No. Absolutely. That's how you keep it rotating.
Yeah,
People
absolutely.
don't understand. Like, we don't want to collaborate. We don't. A lot of people don't. I love collaborating because, one, I don't want to do everything,
Yeah.
and we're just one person. We can't do everything. Like, you can't have everybody on your podcast.
Ooh.
Neither can I.
Yeah.
And people are going to be drawn to your energy, or they're going to be drawn to mine. It's just different.
Yep.
And so there has to be multiple people that do the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. That's true. That's
But
true.
networking is the key, and people don't understand how. Like, people are always at, like, you're always doing something, you're always somewhere. Absolutely, because I never know who I'm gonna meet,
Absolutely.
and that could be the person that could change everything going forward.
It's true.
And I couldn't miss that on the opportunity. And I like to go networking by myself just because a lot of my friends don't know how to do it, and I don't want to be dragging you along.
Oh yeah.
Like, don't. I'm not gonna talk to you. You probably gonna think I'm rude because of once we walk in the door, I'm gonna walk away from you, like,
Yep.
because I'm on my mission of what I need to
You
accomplish.
know what you're supposed to be doing. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And yeah, that changed my life going to those events, and I went to multiple, a whole bunch, and it really helped me grow and meet some people that I probably wouldn't have met.
yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So yeah, that definitely.
So, what got you into doing vending events,
Uh, uh,
and how many? When did you start doing that?
I started doing that actually this year, and what got me into doing that is realizing what opportunity you're creating for others. Because earlier this year, when I was in my hiatus, I was looking at the opportunities that people create, and then I was like, you know what? You just made me think about something. The reason I created it is because, and if you listen to this, this probably happened to you. But when you're reaching out to people and you're trying to be a part of their team, you're trying to help them, you're telling them what your value is, and they are just like,
Mm,
okay, I create my own table. I create my own opportunities. And that's what I decided to do, create my own opportunities. A lot of people don't believe that they can create their own opportunities.
you're right.
And to be honest, a lot of people don't have faith in themselves. It don't matter if you brung 4 vendors out. It's a vendor event. You did it.
Yes.
Most people would be afraid to do it.
Yeah.
So that's creating my own opportunities and also creating a space for others is something that I decided to do. And I really realized that this year when I did my art show and I created an opportunity for artists from the city to be a part of a show that I created. And I was like, dang, it felt good to create an opportunity for others. So
Mm-hmm.
then I did it again. I did an event, a speaking event called Defeating Procrastination. And I had 3 of my friends that I knew was great speakers. Somebody else probably wouldn't put them on, but I'm going to put them on position to win.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. Then I did it again, did another Defeating Procrastination, did another one. So I did like 3 or 4 of them. And
Nice.
so then I did an art show collaboration with my brother Jamal. Did it again. Created a space for people to showcase their art that's not on a crazy level. Created them an opportunity and brought them an audience. And
And you
so,
think about, like, as you were saying it, it made me think, like, we're creating platforms and opportunities for people that may not even be included in other rooms just
exactly.
because people just, one, they don't know them, or they just don't think that they're at that level.
Yep.
But everybody has to start somewhere.
Absolutely.
And it, like, for me, just even having people on my show, I realized that a lot of people don't know how to talk about themselves. They don't know how to tell their story.
Mm-hmm.
And so being on a show like this allows you to learn that and be able to
Absolutely.
hone on that skill and say,
Yeah.
okay, wow, it's not as difficult as I thought. I can
Yeah.
talk about it, because basically it's talking about what you love to do. We
Yeah.
overthink everything,
Yeah. A
you
lot of
know.
people are scared. A lot of people, like you said, they don't know how to text and they be nervous. And it's like you don't be nervous about something you already know. All you're
Exactly.
doing is just telling your story. So tell the people what it is
Yep.
that you're doing and elaborate.
Yeah.
That's the part they don't know how to do. They answer the question so
Yeah.
quick. You be like, "What do you do?" They're like, I write books." You
Right.
like,
Okay.
"What is your book about?"
Yeah.
Um, mindset.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah. No, for real. But because they're not used to it. But by being on your show and being on mine and others, it's teaching them how to do
Hmm.
it. And then I want to be
Absolutely.
able to have people come back 6 months to a year,
Ooh,
because I want you to be able to see your progress. I want
absolutely.
you to see how far you've come. And I
Absolutely.
always reference the one girl that I had on last year. Boomy Hair Care is her hairline, and she rebranded 5 times last year.
Wow.
And if you think about somebody rebranding, like, after the first or second time, you start doubting, like, okay, maybe people aren't going to take me serious, or, am I on the right track or whatever. It's
Hmm.
easy to doubt yourself, but she stuck with it. And this year she's in Walmart,
Wow.
and she just got a second product to put in there.
Wow.
That
That's
is
beautiful.
dope to me. Like, and
Yeah.
she's going to be on my show the end of next month. And I'm super excited because it's like a year later. Look what you were just starting out and you stuck with it. And that's the biggest thing. if I can't say anything else, it's consistency, and you probably would agree with that. Is we
Absolutely.
don't stick with stuff long enough to see it all the way through.
Ooh, absolutely. And you're right. Rebranding yourself, there's nothing wrong with that, and that shows a lot of confidence.
And it shows growth. It
Yeah,
shows you willing to change and willing to
yep,
move when you learn stuff and say, okay, maybe I need to not do that anymore. Maybe I need to do it this way. And
absolutely,
that's okay. It doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean that you didn't know what you was doing. You just allow that growth to mold you into where it's supposed to be moved to.
absolutely. It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. Wow.
So you've had how many vendor events?
I had two vendor events, two art shows, four, no, three defeating procrastination events, uh, three let's talk about life events, three future millionaire private network events. I didn't even know I had that much.
I know
And
sometimes
that
when
was
you
all
sit
this
back
year.
and you think about it, you're like, damn, I was busy. Like I did a lot.
Yeah, just
And
did a
I
back to
know
school
you,
drive as well.
yep. How did that go?
It was beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah, it was
yep.
beautiful.
And you have how many kids?
I have five.
Yeah, and I know this last event you had your daughter.
Yep, I have my daughter. My daughter sold her first product at my vendor event, which is
How
beautiful,
did
and
that make you feel?
I felt great because
Yeah.
I didn't. She was so confident.
Isn't
Like
it
I didn't
crazy?
set her table up. She did it herself.
Wow.
I didn't really say nothing when she was doing herself. She was doing it herself.
How old is she?
She's 7, but
Oh.
I prepared her. I literally prepared her. If she was here right now and I asked her, Demaya, what's the entrepreneur? She gonna tell you. Are you an entrepreneur? She gonna tell you. How much is your product? She gonna tell you. What is your product? She gonna tell you. And
And
so,
she learned all that by watching you.
yep. And I made sure I teach them that, and I teach my daughters affirmations as well. Anybody that follows me on social media, I post it so they should be able to see it. But
That's
yeah,
dope.
it felt amazing because she get to see it in real life and in person.
Yes.
So she get to see what her daddy created. All these people here because daddy created an event,
No, absolutely.
and
That
I'm at
has
this
a
event.
huge impact on her.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, everybody buying stuff for young kids. So her
Uh
selling her
huh.
product,
Yes.
she was killing everybody in the event. She
I
sold more
bet.
products than me. I was right next to her. I might need to move over
Right.
there. It was killing it.
Yes, yes, you had 50 vendors at that event,
Yep,
and
50 vendors.
if correct me if I'm wrong, but I think wasn't all of them between the ages of what 20? Well, your daughter 7, but up to what 35? Like they was young entrepreneurs,
Yep,
young people
had a
really
lot of.
trying to make a name for themselves.
Yep, had a lot of young entrepreneurs. 50 entrepreneurs in the building. That ain't as easy as people think.
No, I can imagine.
You got to communicate with those people.
Yeah,
You got to reach out to those people. You got to be confident, and the people got to be confident in you that you're going to bring out people.
yeah.
But I think anybody can do it. This is my first year. Last year I was scared to do events. Like I was scared because I know social media is different from
Mhm.
um, in real life.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so I remember at the beginning of this year, I heard Damon Dash say, it's a lot of people on social media that got a lot of followers, but can you sell those tickets? Can you bring those people out? Yeah, you got this many followers, but what are you doing in real life? And
Yeah.
what I realized is that's the next level. A lot
Mm.
of people on social media, content, 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 but what are you creating in real life? What are you doing in real life? Are you
Mhm.
creating opportunities for other people?
Absolutely.
You're creating opportunities for others. So guess what that does? Create opportunities for you.
Yes, absolutely. And that's
So,
even like with you, like I want to have networking events, and we are going to be partnering on one. I'm excited about.
absolutely.
But with the networking events, just not having them regular networking events. Like on Monday, I'm doing a reset entrepreneur reset workshop. Because being an entrepreneur, we struggle with things. I feel
Absolutely.
like we probably struggle more with the depression and more with the stress because there's a lot on us. Like if we
Sure.
don't sell a product, if we don't go out and talk to people, if we don't
It's
do
not
certain
happening.
things, we ain't got no money.
Yeah, it's over
Like
with.
it's not like I can't go. I don't punch a clock. It
Yeah,
requires all of my energy to really
absolutely.
make this thing work. And sometimes I get up and I don't want to do it.
No,
I'm like, fuck this. I'm over it.
definitely, definitely. And I mean, I just feel like it's real, and it take a lot of confidence, take a lot of energy, and for the people that want to do it, be fearless, and then get around people that's going to speak life into you when you doubting yourself. Like really get
Absolutely.
around those people. Don't even speak to people that's not going to lift you up when it comes to something that you create. And then sometimes don't even speak to nobody about it. When I created this, I didn't even tell my best friend about it. He knew about it when everybody else knew about it.
Wow.
Because I didn't want to alter my thoughts.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, he give me great advice. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes this is what I want to go with. I like my cover. I
Yeah.
like what it's about. I don't need my thoughts altered. I don't need to be doubting
Oh yeah,
somebody's opinion. Don't
absolutely.
even matter if it was my closest friend. So sometimes keep it to yourself and just do it, and then, you know. But
Yep.
yeah, keep people around you that can keep you on your toes and keep you hired up and full of energy, especially when you're feeling down. You got to keep them people around you.
Absolutely. There was times when I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm about to get a part-time job. I'm about to do this, and my friend was like, no, you're not. Stay the course. Like because and 2 days later something came through and I was like, you know what? I could have messed that up if I would have succumbed to my emotions at that moment.
Definitely. Yeah. So for the entrepreneurs that's watching this, stay the course, stay focused. It definitely do get hard, and sometimes like even I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, just being vulnerable. Like even now, I have felt like a hamster on the wheel. But then
Hmm.
her friend told me to look back at what you've already accomplished, what you're doing. She's like, your problem is you ain't never satisfied. And I
No,
was like,
and sometimes we do get that way. We
yeah,
kind of we want to chase the next thing, and we forget to just be in the moment and really look. Like you said, when you start naming off what you was doing, it's like, wow,
yeah,
I
because
did all that. We forget that.
I didn't even think about
And
that.
it's
It's wow.
important for us to remind ourselves, like, damn, you are dope. Like,
Yeah,
you are really out here creating something,
yeah,
and people are watching you. People need to see that. And like I had made a
absolutely.
post the other time, like, people need to see you winning because
Hmm.
then that gives them the push that they need to know, okay, I can win
But
too.
then they know it's possible.
Absolutely. It's
Absolutely.
not about hating on anyone. It's like, no, I want to see you win.
Absolutely. Also, I wanted to say this too because I don't say this enough. For the young people that do watch me, that's not entrepreneurs, it's okay. You don't got to be an entrepreneur. One of
Yeah.
my closest friends, he mechanical engineer, makes 6 figures a year. He's 23 years old and he travel for a living. Every time
Wow.
I'm calling, where you at, bro? New York. Where you at, bro? Vegas. Where
Wow.
you at, bro? Somewhere else. Like every time. And
Mhm.
I'll be telling him like, you're winning in real life.
Yeah.
Another friend of mine, say a young father, he got his CDLs. Like, bro, I don't feel like I'm doing enough, bro. I'll be watching. I said, bro, you winning, bro. You doing what you're
Yeah.
supposed to as a father. Don't look at me on social media and try to compare yourself, bro. Don't do that. You doing great, bro. You doing amazing.
I love you said that because I think sometimes us as entrepreneurs, we can kind of look a certain way at people that
Hmm.
aren't. But as long as you're happy and you love what you're doing, that's all that matters. Whether it
Absolutely.
be a job, whether it be being an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. Like you said, you're
Absolutely.
still winning. As
Absolutely.
long as you can come home and be happy and feel passionate about what you do, that's all that matters.
Absolutely. And what you said is a key thing. And this for the people that are entrepreneurs. Your image is everything. How you carry yourself is how people gonna look at you. If you ain't clean cut, if you ain't looking nice, beautiful, how you oh, I wonder how you do your business then if that's you don't
No,
care
for
about
if I
yourself.
come in, papers all twisted up,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, you gotta that's why I come clean
I
cut.
always tell people because you never know who you're gonna run into. I tell
Never know.
everybody that you ain't gotta have the best, but you gotta be clean and you gotta make them stop and be like, all right, what does that person do?
I guess that's in general thing. Everybody should do that. Entrepreneurs or not.
Yeah,
I think she's beautiful.
yeah. He was checking out some girls. She was cute. It's all right, and this
That's
will not
funny.
be edited out.
I don't want it to.
You want me to pause it so you can go and handle your business?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh
That's
my
funny.
god.
Yeah. You
So
type
where
of
do you
person.
see yourself coming like with the rest of the year? Like I can't believe we're in August and we halfway like the year's about to be done. So what do you have planned for the rest of the year for yourself?
So I'm always coming up with creative ideas. Um, So for this next week, I'm gonna take a full break, social media, everything, and get my mind calm and collective. Y'all don't know I had went into a hiatus in January, the whole month, no sex, no liquor, no social media, uh, not really talking to a lot of people, and it put me at a different level. That's why I came out swinging, created a book, did over 10 events, creating opportunities for others because I had my mind clear. I wasn't watching any podcasts, wasn't reading any books. I was just with myself, reflecting in my thoughts and everything, which that book gonna come out too. But basically, within these next couple months, my goal is to get outside the city and to really build my brand even more
Yeah.
outside of Indianapolis, Indiana. I feel like I've done a lot here. I still can build here, but I
Mhm.
feel like the world is big, just like for you. I was
Yeah.
telling her like I think she should start collabing with other people outside the city. She said she did, but
Yeah.
that's what I plan on
Yeah.
doing going outside the city, meeting new people, creating opportunities outside the city as well, because it's a big world.
Yes.
And that's my goal. I want to try to go to a place every month somewhere outside the city and start networking and building my brand and create new opportunities because I've created a lot of opportunities for myself here. So
Hmm.
imagine what I do in other places.
Absolutely.
So and
Have you, it just made me think of like it would be dope to go to networking events in other cities. Have you done that at all? Like, and have you gone probably travel, but have you like specifically gone to a networking event in another city?
not a networking event. I went to like a vendor type of event in
Okay.
Atlanta, and it was beautiful. And so that's my mindset. So I have a friend, and I'll be telling him like, man, let's go out of town, some. Yeah, we should look for vendor events to be a part of. I want to go out of town and create those vendor events. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
You don't know them.
That's
All you got to
okay.
do is meet one person that's
Absolutely.
in that space.
Yep.
Just like here in Indiana, as long as you meet one person that's in that space, I'm pretty sure they connected to the rest of the city. Because
Hmm.
most people in our city network with each other. It's really a whole big circle. Everybody kind of connected to
Yeah.
everybody. But yeah, that's my goal. And my goal is really to become a better father. Yesterday I had wrote down on my notes like what can I do to become a better father. Yeah, be vulnerable again. I actually had one of them nights where I just had to cry. Like I cried and listened to gospel music, and I was just writing down the things that I want to become better at. And becoming a better father is one of those because I was like, man, I'd be so gone with my goals and my dreams. I need to be the same way with my children.
Yeah.
And although I am, I need to be over the hill. Like how I
Yeah.
invest my time in this business, I need to over invest my time in being a father as well.
Yeah.
And I get so lost in trying to build the future for them
Yeah.
that the moment is what really matters.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so
So
easy to do
that's
that.
my
Yeah.
goal as well for the
I
rest of
love
the
that.
year to become a better father and to explore more of the world and introduce them to the mind Hicks.
I love that. I love it. You are dope. Like I talk about you all the time. Like I'm so impressed. So just
Thank
like
you.
it just is amazing.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, keep
Really
what you're
appreciate
doing. Like you are setting a precedent for young black men to like, and we had this conversation before, like you had the choice
it.
of one way or the other that you could have went. And you
Mm-hmm.
chose this way despite your circumstances. And
Absolutely.
so it just gives that encouragement to the young ones that are coming up. Like you do have a choice. Where you are at, you don't have to stay there. You can pivot and do something else.
Oh yeah.
And you and like Stack Over Shine, with what they're doing. Like y'all young men here, like y'all are really making a name for yourselves, and people are watching and people
Absolutely.
are noticing. So
And
never forget that.
absolutely, and that's very intentional too. So my book Keys to Elevate, I have 3 chapters, and this is what I use: environment, positive thinking, and intentional action. My favorite chapter is intentional action, but I break it down: environment, who you surround yourself by, who you meet,
Yes.
can they expose you to things that you ain't even know. Positive thinking, how you think about your situation, and then intentional action. Be very intentional about everything that you want to do. A lot of people talk about manifestation, but what are you doing? Where are you putting yourself in a position to be able to
Hmm.
receive those things that you want to manifest?
Absolutely. And you, because you have to become that person. And I've
Hmm.
learned that over the years. Like, if I were, if I had this a year ago,
Hmm.
I wouldn't prepare for it. I would have probably messed it up. I
Hmm.
wouldn't have not been the person that I needed to be able to be there for other people.
Absolutely.
So I had to go through those struggles, though
Yep.
that car accident, losing my dad, like all of those things had to happen because I had to become that person that was
Absolutely.
more empathetic, more compassionate, more open to willing to listen to other people, which I always was, but when you experience things, you see things differently.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
one thing I ask you before we stop is if anybody is in a situation where they can't change their environment, what encouragement can you give them?
If you can't change your environment, you can change your environment mentally. And I would say dive into YouTube and dive into books,
Yeah.
and get you a mentor. Because
Yes.
mentally, you can change your environment, just like people that's in jail.
Yeah.
Can't change your environment,
Right.
but you can change
Exactly.
it mentally.
Yep.
Or if
That's
you,
why when they come out, they read so much. They be like, they know more than us.
yeah, because you in environment
Feeding your
mentally too,
mind.
whatever. Yeah, feeding your
Yep.
mind. And I think that's what I would tell the people. Like, if you want to grow, that's really changed my whole life. Reading all those books and looking
Yeah.
at those different perspectives. Then realizing that I have my own perspective. That's
Yes.
when I created my books.
Yep. And like you said, mention having a mentor. A mentor is huge. A
Mm-hmm.
workout partner, somebody's gonna hold you accountable.
Yep.
Somebody that's gonna not let you talk some bullshit and gonna call you out and be like, dude, what did you do today?
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you really? You said you was gonna call these 5 people. Did you call the
Yep.
5 people?
Yep.
And if you know somebody's about to ask you about it, you go make sure you call them 5 people. Follow up, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Following up. It's so easy to forget that aspect of
Yeah.
it,
Follow up.
and that is a huge part of the puzzle on any level of business. Whether you're
Absolutely.
selling a product, whether selling yourself as the brand, if you
Mm-hmm.
offer a service, like you've got to follow up with people,
Definitely got
and
to.
don't be afraid to ask.
Woo. That one right there. Don't
I
be
say that to
afraid to
myself
ask,
all the time.
and don't let that go over your head. When she mean don't be afraid to ask, whatever it is that you want in your head, say you want to do an event somewhere, literally ask them. When they ask you what your budget, if you know you ain't got no money, I don't really have a budget, but I do have an opportunity to bring some people and bring more exposure. I do have this great idea, and they might be able to be like, okay, we might could work something out. But if
Yeah,
you don't never express yourself and ask, what
absolutely.
happened? But yeah, asking definitely. I'm
Yeah,
gonna say this real quick. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Go ahead. Now go ahead.
I had read this book. It's called The Instant Millionaire, and the Instant Millionaire was mentoring this young guy. He wanted to become a millionaire, and the millionaire was like, "Yeah, I teach people, but I charge 250,000." And the young guy was like, "Where am I gonna get 250,000?" And he said, "It's kind of funny. You're literally sitting in front of a millionaire, and you're not gonna ask for the loan to get the 250,000." He was like, "I was scared to ask." He was like, "Ask." So he was like, "Can I get 250?" Gave him the money, and then he gave it back to him. He was like, "All I want you to do is take what I taught you and move on." So it was like, don't be
Wow.
afraid to ask, and people do be afraid to ask, and
We
you either
do,
gonna get
and
a
we
yes or a no.
sometimes we get miss out on opportunities because we did not open our mouths.
Yep. Don't be too prideful. You
I've
never
been
know.
there where I'm like, hey, did you really just let that walk out the door? Are you kidding me?
I, I
Never
know,
again. But
right?
we all have
Yeah,
done
yeah,
that, but it's also we're taught to kind of sometimes downplay ourselves, and it's okay to be confident. It's not arrogance. It's confident. It's
yeah.
owning your space and owning who you
Absolutely,
are.
absolutely.
Yep.
And focus. Okay.
So this
Yeah.
was dope.
It definitely was.
Yes,
Definitely
I'm
was.
so glad. So again, you gotta be on my list. I'm about to have you back in 6 months because I know. So one thing. So why do you keep doing these hiatus?
That's a good question. Because I feel like you need a time to reflect and go back to the drawing board. And you need a time for yourself to clear out all your thoughts. Clear out all your thoughts. That's why I
It's
said I
like
did.
you said, clear. It made me think of we have to clear out our cookies or our caches on our phones.
Yeah, you have to clear out all your thoughts so your thoughts
Yeah.
can be clear. And that was the reason why I didn't read any books during my hiatus, and the reason why I didn't listen to no podcasts because I wanted my thoughts to be my own thoughts and my thoughts to
Mm,
be cleared. I didn't want it to be altered by anything. So when I came out of my hiatus, I already knew exactly what I wanted to do, how I was going to do it, and I went for it. And I think also taking breaks is important. And don't let nobody tell you that they're not important because before I went into my month hiatus, a lot of people were like, bro, you're on fire, bro. I don't think you should do it, bro. It's gonna slow your momentum down. You create your momentum, and there's a lot of people in the world that don't know who I am. I had so much to grow from, and when I came out of my hiatus, I went to 1,000. I ain't stopped since February, and
yeah.
what we in
August.
August. I haven't stopped doing events. I just said I did about 10, probably
Yeah.
more events. Did a book launch, uh, was Saturday.
Yes.
Did a back to school drive the Saturday before that. Did a Let's Talk About Life event that Thursday. So it's like, yeah, with overwhelming yourself too, I don't want to overwhelm myself. So I got to take a break, relax, get some peace, and then get back to it. I won't do a month again. I do a week because I do
Yeah.
feel like my momentum is good right now.
Yeah.
I just need to take a break to really relax, think, clear out my thoughts, figure out the game plan so I can finish this year
No,
out
I
strong.
like that because like we always fill ourselves up like with so much comes at us, and
Mm-hmm.
just to have that moment of just no books, no nothing, just being still with your own
And
thoughts.
still, that's when everything can
So
come to you, your
I
creative
appreciate
space,
you saying
everything.
that because that's something that I'm probably gonna have to incorporate because my mind is constantly
Yeah.
going all the
And
time.
ain't nothing wrong with it. I
Yeah.
mean, going hard, going hard. I mean, it's okay. You know the formula on how to get back to where you start, where you left at. Only
Mm,
people that's gonna be doubting is them. But when
yeah.
you come back extra stronger, they're gonna be like, dang, I thought he was gonna stay out. He done came
Right.
back stronger and better. So
Yeah.
yeah, take them
And like what
hiatus.
was when I had my surgery, that kind of shut me down. And I
Yeah.
remember my daughter telling me, she was like, "Mom, you're gonna come back stronger."
Oh yeah.
And so
And
when
you did.
I did, I not, and it wasn't even intentional. It was just like I needed that time but I personally wouldn't take it. So my body and the universe was like, unfortunately, we had to create something, but
Yeah,
we
we're
gonna
gonna get
sit
you
your
okay.
ass
You know what
down
I'm
because
saying? That's what it is.
right, you go come back because there's things that you got to be prepared for.
Yeah, you gotta
Because
have doing it. Yeah,
yeah, because once you start, that certain momentums can't be stopped,
yeah,
and so you have to have things worked out so that you won't be stopped.
yeah, definitely. And that's for I feel like anybody, just not entrepreneurs only. If you're a person that just with a regular life, and put social media down, take a break from it.
Yes,
Take a hiatus from social media. Take a
it's
hiatus
a
from some
freaking
people.
vortex.
Serious. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm addicted to social media, but
No, for real. Like, why? I'm even with my daughter. I'm like, "Are you still on TikTok?" She's like, "I can't stop." I'm like, "I know it's awful."
yeah,
So, what do
I'm
you do
addicted.
for relaxation and for fun? And because we talked a lot about business and that, but what do you do to like
See,
decompress?
I'm not gonna lie. That's what I've been trying to figure out.
Mm,
And that's what I'm gonna learn within these next couple of months too. What is it that I like? What is it that I really enjoy? The only thing I really enjoy, like, would bring me like a lot of joy is like spend time with my daughters, of course. And I think it's out of town,
yeah,
but I like to get massages.
yeah.
But I really don't do anything. Only thing that really like super make me happy, like if I'm enjoying myself, it's like one of my favorite rappers come out with an album. Like I'd be turned up.
Yeah, yeah,
But other than that, I think me being in my creative spaces would relax me a little bit,
yeah.
but overwhelm me when I start putting a lot of work towards it.
Yeah,
But I haven't figured that out. If somebody can comment below what y'all do
yeah,
for relaxation or
yeah.
for fun,
Absolutely.
it'll help me out because I'm looking for things that I can actually do.
Yep.
Please do that.
Yes, thank you, thank you. So this has been amazing. Again, I can't wait to
Absolutely.
have you back, and just continue. I'm gonna continue watching what you're doing and cheering
Thank
you
you.
on. And so this has been Melissa Shaw with Our Generation, where we educate, empower, and inspire. And you can catch us tonight. It's gonna be uploaded, and I appreciate y'all being with me. And make sure you come check out Farm Free and New Vibe and Black Girl Hug. And we are
Absolutely.
out.
Hold on, let me tell them my
Oh,
social media real quick. Let me tell
okay,
them
go
real quick.
ahead.
So you can find me at Demond Hicks.
Yes, sorry. Why did I?
Nah, you fine, you
I
fine.
don't even tell people where they can find me at.
Nah, definitely. Because it might
No,
be some new people
you're
from
right.
my
You're
end.
right. You're right.
So my name is Demond Hicks again. And you can find me on Instagram at underscore I am Demond. And you can find me on Facebook at Demond Hicks. You can find if you Google me on Google, you can find a lot of my things as well. My podcast, Over the Top, OVERTHATOP, not THE, THA, top. And then also my books, Keys to Elevate, Demond Hicks. Keys to Elevate, Demond Hicks on Amazon. Or this book right here, which is called The Mindset Shift, a powerful collection of 100 affirmations. Demond Hicks, The Mindset Shift. That's how you got to put it. And thank you again for
Yes,
having
absolutely.
me.
Right on time. That happened the last time, but they said they could still hear us talking, so I'm gonna still say. So you can find me on Facebook, Melissa Shaw, on Instagram, Our Generation 19, and obviously on my YouTube channel, Project Our Generation, and on Spotify and Google Podcasts, it's Our Generation with Melissa Shaw, and we are out.
Peace.